At Southeastern Pond Management, we pride ourselves in growing fat, healthy, largemouth bass. One of the ways to do this is providing a lot of food. Bass are eating machines. The more food you feed them, the bigger they're going to get. An excellent supplemental forage that you can stock in your pond to really grow fat bass is tilapia. The cool thing about tilapia is though, they're mouth brooders, and what this means is that once the eggs are fertilized, a lot of times the female will pick the eggs up and keep them in her mouth until they hatch. This is going to protect these eggs until they hatch and allow for successful reproduction. These fish are fast growing, so what they're going to do is they're going to get to 3 to 4 or 5 inches really quickly. This is the perfect size forage for bass that are 14 to 16 inches in length. At Southeastern Pond Management, when we stock tilapia in your pond, we're stocking adult fish. This is to ensure that when these fish go in, they're not eaten. They're going to start reproducing and make a ton of babies to grow fat bass. We take our specially designed aerated tanks and we go to our hatchery. At the hatchery, we pull right next to a holding pond. A huge net is lowered into the holding pond to collect the tilapia. These tilapia are then transferred into baskets. These baskets are weighed to ensure that you're getting the maximum number of tilapia for your order. Once we've got the correct amount of fish, the baskets are then hoisted over our tanks and our technician pulls a lever which releases the tilapia into our tanks. From that point on, we head to your lake. Once we leave the hatchery, we're constantly checking the DOs and the water temps. We want to make sure these fish get to your lake safe and sound. Once we get to your lake, we pull right up to the bank. The technician will check the water temperature of your pond and our tanks. We'll use a trash pump to pull water from your pond into our tanks to help acclimate these fish. Once the technician feels like these fish are ready to be stocked, he'll net them out of the tank and stock them into your lake. This will ensure that your fish get in your lake and start spawning and producing a ton of babies to grow fat, healthy bass. Another cool thing about tilapia is that they don't compete with your other forage species. They mainly consume aquatic vegetation, particularly filamentous algae. This is sort of a byproduct to stocking them so that they'll feed your bass, but some clients have had really good success at controlling filamentous algae when they get high numbers of tilapia in their lake. This also takes pressure off your bluegill. You know, the bass are keyed in on tilapia when they're in the pond producing those 3 to 5 inch size forage species. And what this allows is that the bluegill can be successful in their spawning, and this just floods your pond with a ton of forage that's the perfect size to really maximize the growth of your largemouth bass. If you really want to beef up the forage in your lake, give Southeastern Pond a call. We'll come out, we'll stock your tilapia and produce a forage base that's really going to grow trophy largemouth bass.